three-man front. A lot of discussion today, a lot of different subjects on the table. We will start with recruiting. Some big news for the Auburn Tigers. 2 more commitments this morning. Deshaun Hall, a 4-star wide receiver from Prattville. He has committed to Auburn. Also, 3-star receiver Cedric Simmons from Selma. He has committed to Auburn. Auburn now has jumped Florida to the number 8 position in the 247 sports rankings for recruiting. Meanwhile, Alabama, last hour, they got a 3-star edge commitment from Tyler Younger from Norcross, Georgia. 6'5", 230-pound edge defender. He has committed to Alabama. He chose Alabama over Stanford and Rutgers. But the big story, just moments ago, Brendan Sorsby, he has not conduct a supplemental draft this year. So he is out of luck and draft. So we'll see if his who heard all week go with the wonderful likes of the National Football League.
Yeah, he can try, but a lot of people have tried and to no avail. Demetri Ravanos joining us here on Three Man Front as he customarily does. All of our guests join us on the Higginbotham Hotline. Happy late June to you, Demetri. How are you?
I am good. We are getting some much-needed rain up here in North Carolina. It's finally done with what felt like a 48-hour no-break celebration of the Stanley Cup. So ready to lock back into college football here.
You just heard the news on Brendan Sorsby. He's not playing college football this next season or ever again. NFL says no to the supplemental, at least for the time being. What should Brendan Sorsby do this offseason, as it appears he's going to have an offseason?
So am I right in understanding that part of – because I'm reading this as we're talking.
Right.
Am I right in understanding that part of this is the NFL saying you said you were going to be declared ineligible? That does not seem to have happened, so why do you need a supplemental draft?
Based on me, it seems like that because of the documentation and they're worried about, once again, the integrity.
Sure.
To me, this is just the NFL saying, you know what, we just need to hit pause. We don't need to rush into this. And basically this might be a one-year ban, so to speak, because before it was Terrell Pryor back in 2011, the NFL, they had a supplemental draft. He was drafted, but the commissioner gave him a 5-game suspension. So to me, this is just the NFL's polite way of saying, you know what, we're basically not going to have a supplemental draft, and that's going to cause you a whole season of being banned because you bet on your own football team. That's me.
Yeah,
that's me reading between the lines.
Yeah, I mean, and look, when we talked last week, Pat, the thing I didn't quite get was what was going to be Sorsby's argument for a supplemental draft if the decision had been deferred so long that it would not interfere with his college football season. If he has, made it clear he is not going back to Texas Tech and now he doesn't get that supplemental draft, I guess he is sitting out. I always thought it was very strange that he and his lawyer basically got their way and he was still appealing for some sort of hardship for the NFL to reconsider his case in the first place.
The more I think about it, it'd be funny to say, well, he should get into handicapping or have some kind of Vegas Insider podcast. But is that off limits to a guy like him, even if he chose to? I realize now he's dealing with his addiction, his illness. But could you foresee him going that angle, or would he be maybe hands off to the Vegas community as well?
It's so hard to figure that out, Landrum, right? In a world where Giannis Antetokounmpo is allowed to own part of Kalshi, I don't know what is and isn't off limits. You hit on him, doing his addiction recovery work. I think that would immediately raise an eyebrow and cross him off a lot of NFL GMs' list that he was a trustworthy person if he went into, some sort of one year podcast relationship with a big sports book and prediction market.
Since the last time we spoke to you, the Senate, the committee, heard the Protect College Sports Act. They are now going to send it to the Senate floor. It passed 19-9 last week. Your thoughts on that? Do you think it will get out of the Senate? And if so, what's the likelihood that the House of Representatives will pass this into law?
I mean, I think you would have to think that coming up towards the midterms, the Republicans control both sides. If they feel like it's a win for them, it almost certainly would. It's funny, ever since that first round of voting happened, I have heard more people that didn't seem to have an opinion on this suddenly sound as if they had actually read the Protect College Sports Act. I'll be honest, I don't know enough to know which bill was the one that seemed to have teeth and which one was the one that did a whole lot of nothing. But I would think this comes down probably to political calculus, right? Like it'd be a big win if you could say you fixed college football, whether you really did or not.
Football, schmootball, soccer is the sport that we play here in the United States. I know that you were getting fired up for the World Cup and U.S. men's soccer. I've been pleasantly surprised, impressed, all of the above with what we've got through the first two matches. You follow it. What's the likelihood that we get really excited and we see this U.S. men's national team get to the Sweet 16 or maybe beyond?
So we've only been to the quarterfinals twice. Well, once because the other time when we got to the semifinals was the very first World Cup, and there was no quarterfinal to go to. So it would be monumental to do that on U.S. soil. I have thought all along what concerned me about this U.S. team is going into the World Cup, they had not settled on their goalie yet. Matt Freese, the guy that has been the starter in World Cup tune-ups, was averaging giving up more than 2 goals a game. That is really bad in a sport where you see a lot of 0-0 ties, right? But I think that the offense has bailed him out, keeping the ball on the attacking half of the field for as long as they have. Admittedly, we haven't played our strongest opponents yet. Like, believe it or not, even though they are eliminated, Turkey probably has more talent than the other two countries we've played, and we'll see what happens in the knockout stage. But I think I saw that it would be Bosnia-Herzegovina in the round of 32, and then either Ivory Coast or is it South Korea maybe in the round of 16. Like, that sets up pretty well for us to be in the quarterfinal, I think.
All right, so, Demetri, I know at least in my adult life I've heard time and time again that soccer was the up-and-coming sport, that all youths were going to start playing that over youth football and youth basketball, baseball, whatever the case may be. If the United States gets deep into this tournament, what do you think it would do for overall youth soccer in the United States?
Oh, I think it would be a very good thing at the youth level. I do think that the U.S.'s biggest problem with soccer is you'll never get the biggest stars to come here and play until, like Messi, they are on the back end of their career. The MLS has had a lot of those guys. But, if you look at where it is desirable for people to be, there are probably a dozen countries in front of us. In England, maybe their second-tier league is better than the MLS. That is always going to be a hurdle to overcome. Oh, and by the way, the MLS moved all of their games behind an Apple paywall that nobody seems to have. Like, that's always going to be the hurdle soccer has to overcome here. But, man, every kid I know, at least for a year, plays soccer. Every friend I have, their kids at least for a year play it. Like, it is not as big of a challenge to understand the rules for the generation below us as it was for us in 1994.
Yeah, it seems like that soccer is one of those things the rest of the world, they still cherish because we have not figured it out at the men's level at the World Cup stage anyways.
Yeah, I think, too, within the United States, the other thing, too, is, and I'll go back to this, like, when the MLS first launched and the U.S. men's team was getting pretty decent in the early 2000s, U.S. soccer was pretty protective about keeping our best players here. This World Cup team, 25 dudes, only 8 of them actually play their professional careers in the United States. With those kind of numbers, you would have to think that given, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and Asia Wilson, probably the WNBA has surpassed the MLS in terms of overall star-making possibilities for a sport in the United States. So, I think it is going to be a matter of the kids that grew up with it spreading the gospel more than it is the nation suddenly falling in love with soccer.
In regards to the Europeans, all the videos that we've seen about how they have discovered Buc-ee's and Waffle House, it's pretty cool how they start the videos by saying, you know what, I want to apologize to America because obviously they had, I guess, a certain belief in which they would get over here, and I think this has been a good thing. I think that they're getting to see the real roots of the country, maybe not something that they see on television from Los Angeles or New York.
I don't know if you have seen the polar opposite of that, which is the Scottish fans saying, we were told Boston is a drinking town. Why do all of these places keep running out of beer when we show up?
That is another angle. Yes, very much so.
No, it's been great. I don't know if you saw the video. I mean, even L.A. and New York, right? I don't know if you saw the video of all the Norwegian fans doing their Viking rowboat celebration in the middle of Times Square.
Yes.
That was awesome. That was such a cool, we are all watching the same thing kind of moment, that we just don't get anymore because viewership of everything is so.
I don't think the United States. I don't think we're capable of doing it. I don't. Even if you got a big group of people, half the people are on their phone. Half the people.
Well, yeah, I mean,
there's no way.
The funny thing about soccer culture to me has always been in the United States has always been all of our cheers are copied from other countries, and that's fine. We're new to this soccer thing. I don't blame the United States for that being the thing. But you look at these dudes from Scotland, these dudes from Australia, which I didn't know was a big soccer culture, but they are coming up with choreographed songs and dances that they all seem to know on the fly. There is a level of dedication to this sport that those fans have that college football is the only one-for-one you can give, right? Because the first time you see everybody doing coordinated jazz hands at Texas A&M, you are floored by the fact that your school doesn't have something like that, and this just comes as second nature. The World Cup fandom, college football is the only American comparison to.
All right, so what you got coming up on the bubble bath this week as we are inching even closer to the start of the college football season?
Yes, so the episode that is out right now, we sort of talk about why all of these SEC stadiums are hosting Morgan Wallen concerts and soccer games and the Savannah Bananas. So that's out right now. And then this week, we will dive into why whenever you see a retrospective of old college logos, every team called the Tigers has the exact same logo.
That's good. I know the answer to that, but I'm gonna let people go.
That's good, Demetri.
Go watch that because that is me being a uniform geek. I know all about that.
Just quickly going back to what this could mean for the United States, and I realize that they, according to Vegas, have a snowball's chance to win the World Cup. But if this team does win the World Cup, that would have to be top 5 as far as American achievements in sport all time?
It would be, and I have thought about this a lot this week, because I don't know if you saw Tim Howard, best goalkeeper the U.S. has ever produced, basically said, it's impossible. It's an awesome dream, but it is impossible for the United States to win the World Cup. I think the only thing that would even be in the ballpark of, I can't believe that happened is the Miracle on Ice, specifically a bunch of college kids beating this Russian super team, right? Because we had a hockey culture in the United States. U.S. soccer has gotten a whole lot better, but it would be unfathomable to think we could walk away with the World Cup, especially with the way we used to have to put together teams of, hey, would you like to immigrate to the United States so that you could play professional soccer here? Now we have a bunch of dudes that were born here that are probably one of the 10 best teams in the world.
We got a local product here from Hoover High School.
Yeah, Chris Richards.
Doing a wonderful job.
I'm a big fan of Chris. My son and I had a long conversation about, do we think he grows out and teases out his hair before games to change the angle the ball comes off of his head in a quarter kick situation?
That's fascinating.
That is
Did not think about
fascinating.
that.
See, this is all the nerd stuff we're missing out on, Pat.
Yeah.
Listen, if you guys want to make it up to North Carolina Thursday, 10 p.m., we can all watch the Turkey game together.
We're trying. Me and Pat are still trying to order our jerseys.
Yeah, we need some help with that. Do you have any contacts? Because like Landrum and I, about a month ago, we had considered buying a couple jerseys for the
Sure.
World Cup, and we didn't pull the trigger. I don't know why. Just didn't do it. Maybe we were too involved in the baseball tournament in Hoover. But
That was it.
But then all of a sudden, the last few days, we have both attempted to try to find something, and we have been unsuccessful. So if you know of anybody, or if anybody in our audience would like to,
Plus, we want to go on like a hunger strike for 3 weeks. We could probably get one of those jerseys. They're really small.
You might be going on the Chinese bootleg sites, and maybe you will show up by November.
Oh well.
Look,
Maybe
with
by
the
November. I think we're going to have America 251 before I get that jersey that I ordered.
With the Hurricanes winning the Stanley Cup, there are a bunch of places here with signs in the window that say Stanley Cup merchandise sold out. I have definitely seen U.S. soccer merchandise sold out just this week for the first time.
Yeah, me and Landrum got excited because before the show, we were actually trying to do some shopping, and we came across, and the only size that we could find would be a small. And
Sure.
That's just not happening. Molly could wear a small or an extra small, but not me and
Pat,
Landrum.
you don't want to go one size down and show off the guns?
Well, I mean, Landrum typically does that with mediums.
Sure.
But no, I'm not doing that.
Demetri, I have my brother's
Yeah.
old hand-me-down jerseys from when he was like 8, and they still fit me. So
Yeah.
I don't know how to respond to that. I genuinely don't know how to. That is a problem I will never know.
I'm catching up on all this
Because I
extra
have
World
shirts
Cup
from
stuff.
last year that do not fit me.
well, the small would be great for me. I would gladly take one.
Demetri, I don't know. You would know this, maybe. Something about the Norwegian coach's daughter that everybody's going crazy over.
Oh, I have not.
Okay,
I have
never
not
mind.
seen this. All right. Well, I have something to do before I have
You
to
have your
record my
Google
next
search.
podcast here in
Just
a
go
minute.
from there.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, very much so. Demetri, have a good rest of the week, and we'll talk to you next Tuesday.
All right, boys. Talk to you then.
See ya. He joined us on the Higginbotham Hotline. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services. So, yeah, we've given the clarion call out there. Me and Landrum need some jerseys. We'll pay for them. We just can't find them.
Yeah, they can be game worn.
I'm not going that far.
Yeah, good luck.
Chris, if your parents are listening, we'll take some old gear.
Yeah. We've got a lot of breaking news today during our show. We've already told you that Brendan Sorsby, he will not be eligible for a supplemental draft because the NFL says we're not having one, but you will be eligible for 2027, so he will not be playing in the National Football League in 2026. Meanwhile, moments ago, the Division I cabinet, they have officially voted to approve the age-based eligibility model. The cabinet meeting continues through tomorrow, so technically it will not be official until the meeting ends on Wednesday. But what this means is student athletes whose fourth season of college eligibility was completed by spring of 2026, no other eligibility will be had. Again, this is the 5 years starting at age 19 to be able to play college sports. So this is big. This has officially been adopted by the D1 cabinet, as most people believe that it was going to be official.
Text line is open. We'll still get to a lot more of your responses as you interact with us on the show, and we always appreciate it. Plus, we see good, we see bad. I've seen something bad, the worst thing I've seen. We'll do it next. 3 Man Front right here on Josh. FSU Dave giving us a full breakdown. He is optimistic. This is a man that has seen the highest level of sport played on the international stage. Of course, retired tennis official. But this is who we go to when it's not an obscure sport, but soccer is one of those sports. We stay in our lane, but we're patriots, and we love our country.
Yep.
And Dave, as he did so eloquently during curling, during the Olympics, he just broke down some real meat and potatoes soccer strategy.
He did.
For the United States men's team. So we appreciate Dave. Get to a lot of your texts as you're firing in on the text line. We always appreciate that. I want to remind you that the garage in Pelham, that's where you need to go when you trust all of your automotive needs. If it's something that needs to be checked, repaired, they can certainly do it. And it starts with their owner, Bob, who's a wonderful human being giving back to the community. But it's also outstanding individuals like Robert and Richie. They're going to be there to greet you when you walk into that clean professional lobby. Guys, you never have to worry about your daughter, your wife, your girlfriend, significant other going into the garage and being treated with anything but respect. And that's what you expect. That's what they expect. That's what they're going to get. Right now, get the AC checks. $25 off the AC checks. They're taking appointments right now. $50 off of any AC that needs to be repaired. But, folks, they got tires. They can handle anything under the sun. It's the Garage in Pelham. Give them a try. TheGarageInPelham.com. That's the website. Always tell them Landrum from Jocks sent you.
All right, so the NCAA, they have officially adopted the age-based eligibility structure, giving players 5 years to play 5 seasons from either when they enroll or from the season they turn 19, whichever comes first. The Division I cabinet was unanimous in their vote on this new model, so it was expected that that was going to pass, but something that is unanimous, especially at the NCAA level, goes without saying. Bit of a surprise there. The NFL will not hold a supplemental draft for Brendan Sorsby. He is not eligible to enter the league in 2026. Sorsby will be eligible to enter in the 2027 draft. Meanwhile, recruiting today, big news for Auburn. Deshaun Hall, 4-star wide receiver from Prattville. He commits to Auburn. Also, 3-star receiver Cedric Simmons from Selma. He commits to the Auburn Tigers. Auburn now up to number 8 in the 247 recruiting rankings. Bama, they get a recruit today. A commitment from the 2027 3-star edge rusher Tyler Younger from Norcross, Georgia. 6'5", 230 edge. He chose the Crimson Tide over Stanford and Rutgers. So that kind of gets you up to date on some big news happening over the last hour.
Yep. We see good. We see bad. I've seen something bad. This is the worst thing that I have seen.
This is the worst thing I've seen.
Been in quarantine and I need to get out and party. Woo! What's better than beach and a few drinks and Jeeps? Man, getting better than that. Law enforcement's definitely made their visitability and made people chill out and not be as crazy. The cops are doing their job as long as they don't be mean to people who are actually being innocent. Then I'm all gravy, baby.
Yeah, it's hot outside right now, and you know that it's hot in St. Augustine, Florida. You ever been to St. Augustine?
I have.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's lovely.
Yeah, it's lovely. I went there as a kid. That was a long, hot car ride as a kid with my brother and my sister in the back seat. That was like 9.5 hours.
Wow, 3 of you in the back seat.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. I'm pretty sure I got a whipping on the way back around Demopolis, but I might be running that story into another one. I got several of those. Anyways, we take it to Treaty Park there in St. Augustine, Florida. Michelle Bannister, 47-year-old mom, is accused of striking a male opponent in the head multiple times with her paddle during a May 31st match. The incident began with a disagreement over retrieving a ball, but escalated after the match ended when a man allegedly approached Bannister's son to critique his playing style. Which, not really knowing the full context of the conversation, was it maybe if you were any better, you wouldn't be hitting errant balls where I wasn't having to chase them? I mean, there's so many different ways. But anyways, Bannister steps in to the then confrontation. Police say the family nurse practitioner hit the man with her paddle, leaving him with several bloody cuts to his face.
Oh.
Later, she told authorities she was simply defending her son, but investigators found no imminent threat that would justify The alleged attack. This is one of my favorite parts of the story, though. Nearby player Pam Hatch, known as Pickleball Pam,
Ooh.
said she rushed over to help the injured man after the incident. Quote, she probably got in 6 good whacks with the side of the paddle.
Don't mess with Pickleball Pam.
Hatch said that there was blood around the scene as she helped the man with a towel. I don't know who I'm really pulling for in this story. You shouldn't take a pickleball paddle to anybody's head, but I mean, I'm thinking, did we get Snowbird? You know what I'm talking about? We get Snowbird that was really, really on his pickleball, like to express his opinions. Because then I could see, hot day in St. Augustine. Yeah, he might whack you in the side of the head. Anyways, that is the worst thing that I've seen, but maybe not the worst thing I've seen. Not too bad.
I want to meet Pickleball Pam.
Pickleball Pam sounds like she's a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, she does.
Like she's up there for all the pickleball groups.
That's very like Florida retiree. You know what I mean?
It's not, but Pickleball Pam, she's all about the pickleball, but something tells me that it's bigger than pickleball.
Right.
It's about just
Way of
bringing
life.
folks together.
Yeah.
She probably does snacks and theme days.
Orange slices.
Oh yeah. She's probably a great team mom.
Yeah.
But Bannister, this Bannister lady, she's something else. She loves her son. We continue live from Social Taco here in Homewood. You can join us. The text line is open, 205-834-9450.
It is 1:34 on an absolutely gorgeous day. Looks like rain will subside over the next couple of days. It's a good opportunity for you to call Abide Roofing at 205-577-7338 because they can get out to your house. They can give you a free assessment. It's free, completely free. It's not a gimmick. They're not trying to get you to sign up for anything. They just want to get a look on your roof and give you the peace of mind of knowing that everything's good. And if everything's good, then you're good to go. But if not, like I had problems, just like Conrad's had problems recently, we called Abide Roofing at 205-577-7338. So whether your roof has been damaged by one of those recent storms or it shows signs of age or simply you want that peace of mind and knows it comes with a quality roof over your head, the team at Abide Roofing is ready to help you. They can also deal with your insurance company if they find a problem. They're the insurance claim masters at Abide Roofing. Call Travis Lloyd and his outstanding local roofing team. I recommend him. Conrad, we all do. They're just great people at Abide Roofing. They're going to take care of you at 205-577-7338 or visit them online at abideroof.com.
Portugal running away from Uzbekistan 4-0. 4-0.
Very disappointing.
Yeah, it's very disappointing. And that is going to shake things up as far as goal differential, right?
I think so.
Yes. Portugal looks crisp today.
Yes.
205-834-9450 on the text line. This one rolling in, one of our great listeners, Jocks Montgomery, said, I owned a bar in 1994 when the World Cup was going on. One morning I was there to meet the beer truck, and an Australian couple came in asking if they could watch the World Cup. About 3 hours later, and 2 full cases of beer gone, they thanked me and walked out like nothing had happened.
Wow.
Foster's Australian for beer. Remember those commercials?
I do remember those.
See, advertising works. Posey, thank you. It does say men's Nike soccer shirt.
But you're having reservations based on the picture.
No, the person in the picture, it threw me off a little bit. I didn't know.
What do you mean it threw you off?
I didn't know if it was specifically a man's jersey or if it was unisex.
Might be.
I mean, you own that.
Because that changes things.
Well,
I don't want a women's cut soccer shirt.
But, I mean, you wear that women's cut little Pittsburgh Steelers thing with the holes cut out in the fingers or whatever.
It's got thumb holes in it.
Yeah.
And tassels.
Yeah.
It doesn't have tassels. It does have thumb holes. You guys in the thumb hole thing. I rarely use them.
I saw you use them one time in the studio and it was really cold.
I use them when I dance.
Remember that one time that it was actually cold in the studio?
Yeah.
The one time?
Yes.
And you happened to.
That was because the power was out in the building. Was it that day?
It might have been.
We came out and yeah.
Yeah.
Molly didn't have enough heaters that day.
No.
That's every day for me. I'm cold in the building.
Jeepers.
CJ and Trustful. Hey, guys, breaking news. The NFL is not going to have a supplemental draft. So what does this mean for Sorsby? Does this also question how good he is, or the league doesn't want him and the headaches would bring to the league? I think the latter part, at least for right now. Maybe they reevaluate and have discussions.
In my opinion,
I don't think they're really worried about Brendan Sorsby.
I think also the NFL probably got a little ticked off because there was a lot of assumptions out there that, you know what, if this NCAA thing doesn't work out, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to go to the NFL supplemental draft. The NFL goes, oh, really? So you admitted on gambling on your own football team, and we're just going to say, oh, okay, yeah, you're good. Come on in. No. I think the NFL is definitely sending a sign to them and to his representation that the ethics and the integrity of the game of football is a little bit higher than what they try to do and pass along with a local judge in Texas.
Darren from Tennessee asks, when coaches do these recruiting weekends during the season, what particular games are they looking to bring them in for an easy win or a big time or program visiting? I think it works different ways. Most of our high-profile guys, they're going to want to be there anyway, so they're reserving slots on their official visitor list. But now the way it works, Pat, I would guess any of those visits where those kids get money for those visits now too.
Yeah.
It's probably changed here, but it used to be the high-profile games for the high-profile guys.
Yeah, because you want the highest energy possible in the stadium. Let's just be honest. When you're playing Sisters of the Poor on a Saturday afternoon, that might not garner a lot of attention or a lot of excitement. But But as you said, most of these guys are getting paid just to even show up now. On a visit.
Yeah. Brendan Sorsby, back to him potentially going to the Canadian Football League. Colin says it's worth noting the CFL season has already started. Let's get an injunction. Stop the season. Give Brendan time to go through workouts, his acclimation. Something, maybe the CFL does need Brendan Sorsby more than Brendan Sorsby needs the CFL. What's the base salary? Because Manziel had his Hamilton Tiger Cats kind of manipulated when he was there. Was it like around $100,000?
75,000 Canadian dollars.
So if you do the conversion, it's going to be a little bit more.
Oh, excuse me. That's the minimum. The league minimum 75,000. The average is between 100 and 130,000.
Okay.
But top contracts for quarterbacks can reach 600,000 Canadian dollars.
I haven't evaluated the rest of the league at the quarterback position, but I think that Brendan Sorsby probably would be a top-tier quarterback. Somebody saying Brendan Sorsby to the Stallions. Giddy up. Do you think we get an ESPN 30 for 30 on Sorsby? 100%.
Yep.
Michael asking the same question in the 2027 UFL draft. Do the Stallions select Brendan Sorsby? I get a lot of people's attention. And Joe in Birmingham says now he's going to tick off the NFL before he even makes it there. If he makes it there.
Yeah, see, that's the issue, man. I would take your medicine, take the punishment, and move along. And hopefully, because based on this documentation that was sent to him, he's going to be eligible for 2027. Basically, the NFL said it didn't have enough time to consider all aspects of Sorsby's case. NFL also suggested that Sorsby didn't demonstrate accountability, and that's big.
Insert your own context. This one reads, good news for Conrad. Unlike marijuana, catnip is legal in Alabama.
I will take that for what it's worth.
This one reads, so on a big-time program like this, we learned that Conrad will eat some dusty old cat.
God.
Just reading them.
That's a wild text.
Yes, it is. Someone's suggesting we could shoot Conrad out of a cannon. Go Barons. Is there a net?
Is there a safe way to do that? I could probably be convinced to do that.
Of course you could.
Molly, do y'all have any sort of promos like that?
I bet we can figure something out.
Okay.
There's plenty of people around here that would love to put together some explosive charges to shoot you out of a cannon. Some good old boys.
You would have to sign a few waivers, though.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay, good.
FSU Dave reminding us that Andre Wadsworth was a walk-on at FSU. Later became the number 3 overall draft pick. Brant is asking Molly, will you try The Curious Case of Benjamin Button?
Let's see.
You've never seen it?
I have
you
not.
got to see it.
I have not seen it. Oh, it has Brad Pitt. Sure, I'll watch it. Yeah, never seen it.
It's a good movie.
Weird.
Someone reminding us that Greg McElroy was a 3-star, and look how he turned out. Landrum, what did the Braves do with Spencer Strider? Do they trade him while he still has value, or do they hang on to him? I don't know. We're going to have to get some starting pitchers. Got to do something before the break, or at the break. But, yeah, we're going to need it. Braves lose last night. Luckily, the Phillies lost to the Nationals. Braves still 6.5 games up in the National League East. They take on the Padres tonight, 8:40. You can hear the Braves all season long right here on Jocks.
One other thing I wanted to point out in regards to this Division I voted today, it was unanimous. They have adopted the age-based eligibility structure, giving players 5 years to play 5 seasons from either when they enroll from the season or when they turn 19. Mike Rodak points out that existing players are still protected under the old rules, including 25-year-old Alabama sophomore kicker Lorcan Quinn. I'll be honest with you, I did not know Lorcan Quinn was that old. But he's 25 years old, but he's a sophomore.
They've been playing Gaelic.
Also, seventh-year defensive lineman Kendrick Bingley Jones and Jamarian Latham also involved in that. So,
Okay.
Gonna need those guys.
very much so. But I did not. Did you know Lorcan was
Quinn
that old?
was that old?
I had no idea.
Wow. How old did you say he was? 25?
25.
Man.
But he's still not old enough to play for the LSU basketball team. So
Yes.
we will continue on. We are live at Social Taco. We'll wrap things up on a very special edition of Three Man Front. Don't forget, next Monday, we'll be at Social Taco for the big Freedom Face-Off between Conrad and Hastings. We'll wrap things up here on this edition of Three Man Front next. It is 1:48 as we wrap things up here live from Social Taco. A couple of things to keep your eyes on tomorrow. There's been a story out of the state of Arkansas that potentially an announcement tomorrow announcing a corporate sponsor for their football stadium So they'll change their name of their stadium to whatever the sponsor is. And this just in from Oklahoma State. They are set to announce a unique jersey patch sponsorship deal with the Osage Nation. How about that? They're going to have Osage, see, look, on their jersey. Looks pretty classy.
I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah, it looks good.
I like how it matches
Yep.
very nicely.
The patch will extend across all Oklahoma State athletic teams beginning this fall.
I like it.
So not just football, but the Osage Nation.
Reading up on the Osage Nation. Parts of Missouri, Kansas, Arkansas. Right now, they currently list over 20,000 enrolled members of the tribe.
Very nice. Well, they will now become the jersey sponsor for all Oklahoma State athletics.
We have a couple of tribes that probably have some income that they wouldn't mind doling out to put on a jersey.
Yep.
When do we get that patch? Is Alabama the last in the SEC to get that patch?
You know, Mike Rodak will be one of our guests tomorrow on the show, and we'll ask Mike if he's heard anything because it has been really quiet. We asked Rodney Orr last week if there had been any movement whatsoever about Alabama potentially putting a sponsorship patch on their jersey, or maybe even Auburn. Look into that. We'll see.
Yeah. It should be interesting and all kinds of trying to find all kinds of creative ways to create those new revenue streams. Someone asking on the text line 205-834-9450, will they rename the new NCAA rule of eligibility the TJ Finley rule? Scratching chin, questioning emoji.
That is a great question. They should. Just like we have the Lane Kiffin rule in the Protect College Sports Bill. Maybe we should add the TJ Finley NCAA rule.
I like it. Guys in Molly, you were talking right place, right time. Mine was in the late 60s when the Barons were the Oakland A's farm team. I was able to play against their team at Rickwood in a charity game with WSGN. We lost, but my claim of fame, I hit a double against them. It was a great day.
That's cool.
That's really cool. Darren says, question, if you go to a game with your friend, y'all root for separate teams, your team wins, are you supposed to act happy or just kind of keep it cool? Number one, how much alcohol have you been drinking with your friend? Number two, who's driving home? That's really the first two that I got. But, Darren, you and Ryan, it should be interesting. That your buddy you work with, thanks for listening to Jocks on the app. No, Ryan's a big Kentucky fan. Cook reminds us UFL starts after next year's 2027 draft, so his best option would be JUCO or NAIA, talking about Brendan Sorsby. Fun fact, in our area of the country, Fosta's is brewed in Columbus, Georgia. And it's Australian for beer. Rashad Johnson walked on, turned into an All-American for Alabama, going back to recruiting. Some greats of the past that were not either ranked, weren't starred, or walked on. Kevin Green, that's another one. Walked on at Auburn. Jason wants to know, did Khan go home and spray his new couch last night like a cat?
I can neither confirm nor deny that one.
What is that the cats are spraying when they're doing that? Is that their whatever glands?
I don't know.
Are they telling other cats to stay away? Are they inviting other cats?
Is it like, when dogs mark their territory, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Jason has found a perfect stocking stuffer for Conrad. I hope this is the same Jason that's paying $250 to charity for ringside. For the trivia, True American Trivia.
Also, yes, it's a marking territory thing.
It is? Is
Or
it
when
the,
they're stressed or anxious.
is it the anal glands? Is that what it is?
I don't have the answer to that,
Okay.
but I would assume.
That one's just nasty.
Yeah.
It smells awful.
Will says TJ Finley ain't got nothing on the former Oregon-Miami player Cam McCormick, who had 9 seasons of eligibility.
Yeah, that was the guy that tore his ACL like 3 different times or something. He had a massive injury history.
And Drake from Florida Lore reminding us that Chris Doering, now on the SEC Network and ESPN, he was a walk-on at Florida. Remember, Doering was part of those Steve Spurrier teams.
Yeah, he was a great receiver.
Yeah, he sure was. We appreciate all of your interaction each and every day on the show. Just a reminder, if you couldn't make it in today, we're broadcast until 2 o'clock, but half-off happy hours available. We got weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 2:30. Next Monday, you might make your plans to be here. We got the Freedom 250 face-off. Conrad trying to retain his citizenship. And let's just be honest, Hastings is flexing.
Yeah.
SocialTaco.bar for more information. We appreciate Dave and everybody taking care of us each and every week. We appreciate all of you. Couldn't do it without you. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. Be safe out there. And always remember, God is great. We'll see you tomorrow.